Joining me now with reaction to these big developments is the attorney for Michael Flynn, Sidney Powell. Sidney, thank you so much for joining us. I want to go to that point we just made here, because in your filing, to say that somebody is taking a kill shot is dramatic. In the filing, it says the defense has requested the phone records of James Clapper to confirm his contacts with Washington Post reporter Ignatius, especially on January 10, 2017, when Clapper told Ignatius, in words to the effect of, take the kill shot on Flynn. Did he actually say, take the kill shot on Flynn? And what do you mean when you say to the words to the effect of?
Well, obviously, I wasn't a party to the conversation, so I am trying to give him the benefit of the doubt there. But yes, we have requested his phone records to corroborate the timing and everything about that call that we can possibly corroborate. And it is very concerning. Of course, there was the leak of the transcript of the call with Kislyak at the same time. And then 2 days after that, the Ignatius story breaks. Less than 2 days, actually. So there are a lot of timing.
Sidney, where is the evidence then that conversation and those words or the effect of those words actually took place?
I cannot reveal the source right now, but I do have a very good source for that information.
And you believe the Department of Justice is withholding that information from you?
I believe the Department of Justice is withholding a lot of information, as is Mr. Clapper, Mr. Brennan, and all of the people who participated in the complete setup of General Michael Flynn. You know, we have found additional text messages that the government suppressed, including one where Agent Strzok indicates he knows it's a pretext to go interview General Flynn. They knew there was no Logan Act violation. They exonerated him completely of being an agent of Russia by the end of January, and yet Mr. Comey still runs to the White House on February 14th and conjures up the entire obstruction of justice narrative against the president when Flynn had been cleared of everything long before that. We also have information that the agents did manipulate the 302. You know, it was long in a, quote, deliberative state, as they called it, which is highly unusual in and of itself. We attached as Exhibit 11 to our document a comparison of the February 10th and February 11th 302s that show the addition of substantial additional claims that were not in there before and are not supported by the notes, which we also attach as exhibits to the document. So people can go to the actual document and read it and see a lot for themselves. It's extremely concerning. It's outrageous government misconduct. The agents deliberately calculated and met to plan and strategize how to ambush interview General Flynn without letting him know he was officially under any kind of criminal investigation, to keep him relaxed. And they wanted to be seen as his allies when, in fact, they knew exactly what he had said in his conversations, and they intended to create a situation in which anything he said could be used against him later as a false statement without any warnings to that effect whatsoever.
And real quickly, I've got to go here, but you believe that Lisa Page was the one that actually edited the so-called 302, which is the summary of the interview with General Flynn, correct?
Well, she admitted making some edits of it. I do not know, and we do not know yet until we get the metadata from the FBI who made the major edits to it that night.
Sidney, thank you for joining us here this evening. It really is some shocking developments, and we appreciate you joining us on Hannity to go over it with us. Thank you.